Hi.
And that's where saplings come from.
That makes sense. I was always curious about that one.
Yeah, I mean,
no, kind of out on a limb on that.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I'm sorry, it was just low-hanging fruit.
I can quit, right? I can just walk off right now.
No,
I mean, we
please
can't
no.
physically stop you, but it would make us very sad.
Go ahead and mute while we do the rest of this. I'm just going to rattle them off.
It's now Pungeons and Dragons, everyone, here on Whiskey,
sorry,
Magic,
my
and
bark
Destruction.
is working through my bite. Sorry.
On Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction here on the Games Tavern. Welcome to Pungeons and Dragons, where a bunch of us, people from all walks of life, get together and play Dungeons and Dragons together and have a great time together doing it. I just want to say thank you for coming out and watching us again tonight here on YouTube or Twitch or whatever system you're seeing us on. We really appreciate it. At the same time, thank you again. I really mean it. If you're not on our Discord, go check it out. Our Discord is lively. There are some D&D games that are lively played there. Some folks are always looking for games, and there's opportunities. If you're a Dungeon Master, I know you'll be loved for a long time if you show up there. But let's go ahead and kick off. Let's see here. What kind of music should we have? Can I get Elven Court music of some sort? Tech Goblin, if he throws that up there. Let me know when it's live. Where we last left off, the party had gotten some lovely letters from Cimarine, and as they went through them all, they discovered that Cimarine was wonderful. Her letters actually, as a dungeon master, I'm just going to say this out of character for a moment. As a dungeon master, it made me want to be a better dungeon master because she's obviously a better character than I deserve to have at the table with that kind of letter writing. But as a dungeon master, I also have to say, she let them know that she was coming, like way in advance, but they didn't get the letters until later. So, right then and there, Cimarine's character arrives wonderfully as part of the exciting ambassadorship or diplomatic mission into Waterdeep, where you courteously met with a few people, turned quite a few people away, mostly met with your party, and stole away with your uncle, who is the lead scout of all the Queen's Rangers. Proceeded to go to Luciano's airship, hidden in the port looking like a regular ship, and without warning took straight off, leaving the rest of the Rangers, except for your uncle, behind as you guys stole away, and they immediately rode out to get to the gate and try to make their way there. You have gotten to the Queen's Court. You were welcomed. You were brought in and everything else. They had a discussion. And then where did we last leave off in the Queen's Court? Does anyone want to remember? I'm waiting. Alex checks her notes.
We left off speaking with the Queen. It was mostly her holding court and starting to talk about next moves forward.
Next moves forward, and that's where we stopped, right?
My notes specifically say a feast.
That's right. So at that point, you guys are led out of the Queen's Court. From this feast, you have been moved forward out of the Queen's Court directly into the feast hall. A large hall where tables have been set, chairs have been lined, and you guys are set at a long table separate but to the right of the Queen, where you each are sitting and eating. Sim, unfortunately, you have to sit separately next to the Queen. I know. Tongue out, very, very, very royal-like. And the Queen's Court proceeds, and numerous other large tables, round actually, exquisitely cut, intricate patterns of different woods inlaid to show different patterns and colors, but perfectly smooth across because they were absolutely the finest craftsmanship. As various different groups are aligned in, people wearing their finest elven garb appear. They are led to various tables. The proximity to the Queen's table indicates something about the importance or status of the person there, but not in such a way that it's demeaning, but just to say how much they've done for the community, which Cymrine knows. And at times she is allowed to get up and be social, because people are allowed to move from table to table and be social, and she lets you guys know that. As you're sitting at the table, various different servants within the elven court come in. They respectfully get you water, elven wine, additional bread, some whipped sweet butter, elven rolls. Garlo probably eats 5 or 6 of those elven rolls in the first minute, just because it's on the plate. Right?
Well, no, it's on Lucy's plate, and I do take it from Lucy's plate.
No, I mean the communal plate of rolls. You basically do that. I mean,
well,
you even take a few off of
those,
Lucy's plate too. Yeah,
every time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, every time. Lucy puts one down. Someone talks to him. He starts to talk to them. You reach over, eat the roll. There's nothing he can do about it. It's gone before he even realizes. He looks back. It's gone. He looks at you. Do you have crumbs in your beard? Okay.
Just full mouth.
All right. And from there, the food begins to come out. Pheasant, quail, deer, live butterflies are released into the compound, and they're actually happy because there's flowers inside this great hall. This hall is not without life and greenery and natural light as well. Or magically radiant light as well. In addition to that, plants are brought out, or what would you call it? Produce. You've got berries, leafy greens, dandelion greens. You've got all sorts of wonderful things brought out, and apples galore. For whatever reason, apples are growing wonderfully here. As the food is placed in front of you, a few folks are there, sitting there. Is there anything you would also do at court during a feast such as this? Are there any social connections you want to make? Sim, Lucy, Turgia, Ray, Rob, Garlo?
I would be looking around to see if there were any people that I recognized as doing business of some kind in Waterdeep.
Nope.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
But you do look. You're noticeably looking.
I'm looking for anybody with BDE.
What's?
No.
I was
gonna ask
yeah, I already
Lucy
know.
if Lucy is like, are you trying to play? Should we try to drum up something? I mean, I could go walk around and be like, oh man, it sure could use some music in a place like this. A bit stuffy.
Yeah, Lucy's like on a mission. He's like, no, dude, it's not the time or place. I only have so many opportunities to, have some fun with some elves.
There is an elven quartet that is playing a series of stringed instruments and woodwinds. Like there's a wooden ocarina flute, if you will, playing hauntingly beautiful melodies, with the stringed instruments playing as well in the background.
I think the subtle touch Sim would like to attempt is to try to network for her friends. Of like, oh hey, here is someone who is a merchant that maybe Turgia can connect with. Here's a really cute elf that Lucy might connect with. And like just try to find people that could help in some way for my buddies.
Okay, you have to tell me how you feel you're networking. So a merchant, what kind of merchant do you think is going to connect with Turgia?
Well,
An elven fabric merchant, an elven woodworking merchant, an elven metalworking merchant, an elven...
That's too complicated in the sense of Sim has not paid that much attention to know what her family does.
Actually, I do have a request.
Perfect.
Is there anyone around who looks like they might know a lot about court, but isn't like the queen or her brother?
They're a chancellor?
The queen or her brother? Oh, the uncle?
Yeah.
Or the captain of the guard, or
I'll take the captain of the guard, like a seneschal, somebody who is clearly somebody who looks like he's well connected, but not very important.
Ooh. There is the court record keeper.
I'll take it.
Okay, well, he's standing there writing notes and drawing pictures on long scrolls as the time goes. He's standing at a podium. That's his whole job, is to record
Stenographer.
to record the historic event of the Great Feast with the Queen and her daughter and her adventuring friends, celebrating her return from her outstanding diplomatic outreach. Yeah, so there you are.
Okay.
Are
I
there
head
any-
over to the court record keeper.
Okay. All right. So you do that. All right. We'll pause that there, but we know you're doing that. All right. What were you saying, Garlo?
Is there any like, because this is court and whatnot, and so I'd ask Sim if she points out any of the, because I know her uncle is like head guard and whatnot, but are there any folks here who are like essentially like first ranger or something? People who
Her uncle.
have ventured, but people besides, because he's probably married up, but like anyone in abouts that would know of the Feywild, outside of just like anyone who's had like recent foyers there, like if there's an advanced guard or something, like, you
So
know.
you're asking about that?
I'm asking if she knows anybody who's been out there, or anyone who's like the rangers, essentially, like anyone who's, yeah, kind of.
So
If I was trying to get a lay of the land ahead,
asking
sort of thing.
Sim, what's the name of the stuffy court wizard?
Sailor.
Sailor has had experience recently bouncing back and forth, not through the tree, but through other portals of his choice. So he goes in roughly where he hopes to land, not where the tree puts him. He's been in and out of there. So, and Sailor is at court. He is currently speaking with a couple merchants for some. Looks like he's trying to negotiate some things to be brought to his lab or his wizardly tower in the woods. Sim, just out of curiosity, and Luciano, you can't say a word right now. I would like to know just how good or bad you know what Luciano is looking for in a potential hot, sweaty elf on tiefling action.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you're
I
guessing
did not
here.
need to hear this.
You're guessing this one. So
I think
describe the elf you think you're gonna, pair him up with.
I'm gonna find the most well-dressed elf. And
Dapper, well-dressed elf. Okay.
right, like that's it gotta be a pretty face too. But the key personality trait I'm looking for is that it's sharply dressed. Not like me with my 3 purses, but someone who knows how to put color together, who has a good silhouette. Like that's the person that I'm looking for.
You know of a half-elf.
Perfect.
Mother died a long time ago. His father is a member of the Elven Court. He is also there, and he is dressed to the nines. I mean, he also sometimes goes back and forth and trades with the humans, and speaks their language well. So you see his clothing is not only dressed well, it is a subtle mix of some of the outside non-elven made clothing as well. But it works, and it works well. It's like anime, high collar, stiff hair, long but pointed in all the right ways, high cheekbones.
Is he
square
pushing up his
jaw.
glasses in the middle?
There's no glasses. This guy,
Oh.
no glasses. He's sharp as can be. He has a monocle, but he only puts it in, and it may be magical. You don't know for sure, but it looks like it might be. Typically, as he's talking to people, he's dazzling them with stories and regaling them. You see a number of other elven gentlemen just laughing as they talk to him, and he's obviously there. You walk up to him, and what do you say to him to get him to want to talk to Luciana?
You would think would have a little bit more princess tact, but what I think has been my charm consistently has been my charm. and just like kind of wade in, like I'm supposed to be there, and I'm laughing along with them.
Your Highness, yes. Of course. What can I do for you?
Hello. Hi,
hello.
I haven't met you yet. What's your name?
My name is Soren.
That's a lovely name.
Greencloak.
Soren.
Soren Greencloak. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's your cloak?
It's the family name.
Oh, that makes more sense. I'm sorry. Wow. I mean, so what do you do, Soren?
I'm a trader, actually. I trade in goods back and forth. I help facilitate that with the various different people, and some light diplomacy on the fly as needed.
You do trade? I have
Yes.
someone I need you to speak to. I'm gonna grab his hand and start moving him to Lucy.
Okay, so that's what you do. Rafe, what are you doing during this time? Rafe, what are you doing during this time?
Mostly I am paying attention to the conversation that's going on around the table, but I am only engaging if directly engaged.
So you're gathering atmospherics.
Yep.
Okay. So based on what you're gathering, Rafe, all right, we're going to get around the table. All right. So Garlo, you're looking for, what was it? One more time, just to make sure I got this right.
I'm just looking for new reports out of the Feywild.
New reports out of the Feywild. Sailor. Okay, Sailor. Turja is looking to meet a well-to-do merchant, but in what particular field again?
Well, actually, I'm trying to find somebody who is knowledgeable about the inner workings of the court.
Oh, inner workings of the court. Okay, let me make some notes here because I don't want to botch this up.
Sure.
I'm playing 5-card Monty with the characters today. All right. All right. All right. Luciano. Cimmerian brings this guy forward. Tall, stacked, well-dressed, high collar, nice chin, not a lot of facial hair. His eyebrow raises slightly. It's my
Soren.
understanding you wish to talk about trade.
I want you to meet Captain Drake.
Captain Drake? Color me intrigued. I love what you've done with your color, and it goes with your skin. Delightful. Are those new shoes?
It's always new.
That's exquisite. And the conversation begins. Rafe, make a insight check for me real quick.
$11.
11. You don't get anything but surface level. You think that most of the people there are kind of focused on, enjoying a meal, celebrating that the princess has done a diplomatic service for the kingdom, pretty happy with the performance of it, but it seems like none of them know what you're about to go do. And that's what you get. Garlo, at some point, Sim, right after she dumps off Soren of the Green Cloak, which now I have to remember his name, you mentioned this offhand to Sim. Sim points out Sailor, brings you over to Sailor. How do you want to introduce him, Sim, to the stuffy wizard who's kind of coming around to you a little bit, but you don't want to botch that. So how are you going to do that?
I think I'm gonna smile really big, and we're gonna make direct eye contact. I just want him to have that moment of fear that I might do something out of pocket. And then I relax into a more courtly posture.
Relax.
You see him
into a more courtly
literally
posture?
take a breath of relief when you go into a courtly posture. It's like, oh, milady.
Sailor, I want you to meet one of my nearest and dearest. This is Garlo, and he has questions, and I think you're the smart man to answer him.
Oh, well, thank you very kindly, Your Highness. Yes, Rockdown?
Indeed.
Ah.
Garlo Lingrenholt. Pleasure to
Yes.
meet you, sir.
I do. What area do you hail? Your accent's a little bit muddled. I'm having a little trouble placing it.
A bit from the Shard Coast. It's
Well, I mean, all of them are on the Sword Coast at some point, but I mean, like, which
Uh,
village?
small place you probably not heard of. Not much around, but I've been around the block a bit, and I've heard tell that you're also a man who travels. I wonder if you've heard word from certain places.
Well, I do travel as part of my role, and sometimes for knowledge. What places are you looking at?
I'm a little bit interested in planar travel. I'm interested. Been one way into some different planes. Wouldn't recommend taking the route I did. But have you heard anything interesting from the Feywild? Any updates or any?
His finger goes right up to his lips. I think that is a very interesting question that possibly should wait for later. But I am intrigued about your planar travel. Do you suppose you could indulge me on that for now, and then we talk about the Feywild later?
Like I said, it's not exactly a trip I'd recommend.
Well, tell me what happened. And with that, he begins to ask you questions about what you tell him about your forced trip.
Short story. It's got a big ending.
Yeah. There was this big lot, Sim, you break off. Turja has walked right up to this gentleman. You see this from across the room. Now, you are not but a few steps from Garlo and Sailor, but you are not actively engaged. You see the queen is politely chatting up someone. You see Turja walking up to the podium where the records keeper is. Turja, how do you approach the records keeper? He's literally at the podium. He's scribbling quickly, looking up, smiling gently as he sees the crowd, scribbling a little more. What do you do?
I walk up to him and I say, "Excuse me, I don't want to interrupt you, but can you spare a moment?"
Just a moment, but yes.
I was wondering if perhaps, I don't want to bother you now when you're clearly busy, but perhaps later we could meet briefly. I was wondering if you could, you're clearly very knowledgeable about the court, and I was wondering if you could just fill me in a little bit. Some background knowledge. I've never been here, I've never met any of these people, and I'd be curious to learn more about the court's history and what sort of the people in it.
Sure. Heart and Nail. Pleasure. Official record keeper of the royal family and herald of the history. What's that?
Turja. Lady Turja Ironwalk.
Okay. And where would you like to discuss this later? Your room? My room? A different place?
Your room is fine.
Oh.
I assume you have some like sitting area or something.
Yes, I do. I have a small library in the front.
That sounds perfect.
The main royal library is really my main worry.
Well then why don't we meet there?
If you wish, I mean, we can meet there too. Whatever. But what time? I mean, it's awfully going to be late when we're done here today.
Tomorrow morning, perhaps?
In the morning, we could do that. Yes. And you wish to know about the Elvish court?
Just some background knowledge. You seemed the best person to go to.
I'm one of several, but I'll do, I guess. At that point, you hear some distant trumpets. Further out from the kingdom, but definitely more than a few. And right about now is when you gather that the other Elvish rangers riding on horseback have finally made it into the kingdom.
Late to the party. That's super rude.
Doesn't shine them in the best light.
You immediately glance at your uncle, who's already smirking at you. Shakes his head quietly in the background and gets up, and he starts to walk toward the door to greet his men when they arrive. You are, of course, wearing, finery. What is the conversation like with you, Luciano? How are you
Gentlemen?
talking to this guy? Yeah, like, how are you talking to him about?
Well, I'm probably have you been in the skies recently? I'm gonna go full Drake since that's how she introduced me.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been to the skies recently. Smooth
No.
sailing.
No, I've never been flying. Only conveyances are, arcane circles for transportation.
I take you if you like.
What? Are you trying to get me on an airship to steal me away?
We don't have to go as far as the airship. I'll pull out my broom if you'd like to take a ride.
How very phallic
Okay.
of you. Tell me more about the stitching on this. I've never quite seen articles quite like this.
Aye, and you never will. They change with my mood, and I immediately changed to a different coat.
Oh, it's one of those. That's exquisite. I have shoes like that. Watch. And he changes his shoe color. See?
Lucy's gonna look at it with like, it's not that kind of magic. Nice try though.
No, look. And he flips it right back. Matches the outfit now. It's perfect.
I will then change the entire outfit into like workwear, like a dock worker. Be like, no, you don't understand.
Oh, look. It also turns into utility. How delightful. May I touch it?
No.
Oh.
I'll let you take it off.
He kind of looks at you for a moment. I need you to make a persuasion check.
Oh God.
Hmm. 22.
What was that?
22.
All right, let's see. Here. All right. Sounds good. When can we go?
This go. I see and I'm looking around.
Wait. It would behoove us not to leave until the dinner was over.
I'm scoping around and I'm like, I see a closet over here. Like I'm like, we don't have to go anywhere.
I think that would be a little untoward. And just then the door flings open. You see, Turja, the records keeper is drawing a small picture next to the Elvish script that he's writing. Do you read Elvish?
Yes, actually.
Okay. You see him recording, the various actions and times and what was said. And these are draft scrolls. This will then be turned into something a little more exquisite later down the line for the Elvish histories. So the rough notes are capturing, a lot of information very quickly, but he's also drawing pictures to show where people are standing and everything else. As the doors flip open, he turns, looks, and goes, oh, and immediately records that the, how many was it? 4, 6 Elvish Rangers arrive. They greet your uncle. They say, haha, blah, 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 blah. It's good to see you. Yes, you son of a, you left us behind, and yes, your horses are here. Don't worry. And you could have at least warned us, and he's laughing, and he goes, I didn't know they were going to make the ship go up in the air. He's playing dumb, and they're like, yeah, right. Jovial to an extent. And one of them says, oh, and I picked up a gift for the princess. And the uncle looks puzzled for a moment. Yes, a gift. Please. And he produces a small chest. And all eyes are on you as he brings it over and places it onto the table by your seat.
I look at it, and I look at him, and I look at the audience. No, thank you.
No?
No, thank you. What's in the box?
Well, you just have to open it.
I think I'd feel better if I knew what was in the box.
I don't know what's in the box.
Well, that's a shame. I guess we'll never know. Thanks for the gift, though.
It's yours to keep. And one of the diplomats apparently had dropped it off for you from Waterdeep, is what he says. And then he walks back to the others.
It was very forward of him to give me a gift.
It wasn't from him.
Still, I think it's still
Give somebody
some
a gift.
remnants. She just recently got pretty okay with Lucy giving her various things. It's a little bit much, so she's gonna leave it there, not formally accept it. If an attendant wants to pick it up, great, but she's not in any way engaging in that.
Your Highness, if I've in any way, shape, or form insulted you, I apologize most sincerely. I can get rid of this for you if you wish. I am but a humble ranger in your service.
That is so sweet of you. It's not your fault. I don't think, unless it is. But, I don't care to explain myself right now. I'm going to assume you meant no insults and nothing by it, and so therefore you won't feel insulted by me not accepting it, and we're going to go about our day.
Would you like to have this disposed of? I can do that for you.
Let me think on it.
As you wish. And he stands by it, awaiting you to think on it.
And now it's just that gif of the white lady doing math.
The entire court is now staring in silence as this conversation is happening. Garlo, even Sailor has stopped for a moment, and you see him looking, and his mouth is a little bit open, but it's not like he's open and aghast. He's open, waiting to see what happens next. Luciano, even the
I'm trying to take my clothes off. So
no.
like,
No, he's like, yeah, he's not looking at you anymore right now. He's staring at what's happening.
oh, then I'm
over
not interested
there.
in him anymore. On
The
to the next
record
one.
keeper is the only sound you hear is the occasional scratching of an image into the parchment by the record keeper. Even the queen is like, oh, this is interesting indeed.
There's a soft muttering as trying to trace a path. Okay, well, he got the gift from someone else, so does that mean technically he accepted the gift? Or is there going to be a transference that now I'm going to owe him something? I know we hung out a few times, but I don't know what he likes that much. I don't even know his favorite color. And like, kind of just a mutter of that situation. And then I stop and I look at him. I think you should accept this gift on my behalf. Like, accept it for me.
As you wish. Thank you very much, Your Highness. Are you certain?
Yeah, because it's still gonna... You're accepting the gift, but it's mine. But you're accepting it. You're assuming the responsibility of acceptance.
You see a very strange look of confusion come across his face. Your uncle says, "What do you mean, Your Highness?"
We all know that when you accept a gift from somebody, you then owe them in turn. And sometimes it's something as simple as a gift back, but sometimes it's a favor, and you don't really know unless it's specified. So since we all know this, I'm not going to get tricked into giving a gift to someone who I don't even know. This is common knowledge, right?
Sailor looks at the queen looks at you. She leans in and whispers, gifts that are inconsequential don't come with favors, and gifts that come with favors, usually you know when it comes with a favor.
It's very sweet of you to say that, Mother, but all gifts come with consequences.
They absolutely do, my darling. You have learned well. Your royal courtliness has started to show.
This guy's crashing
My
out with
daughter has learned even more about diplomacy.
Thanks, Mom. Good cover.
Let us celebrate. Play a new jaunty tune. And they do. They then play something that's, the equivalent, the elven equivalent of, and the lights start to flash. Let's get a dance going, shall we? And your mother has covered beautifully for you, and at the same time might actually believe you've learned something. Luciano, your court opportunity has turned around and says, I'd like to dance. How about you?
No. If I'm not the only thing,
come on.
looking,
Grab
I
your
don't want
hand,
anything to do with you.
Starts yanking your
I
hand up.
misty step away. I
You
dimension
do? You
door away.
did?
In fact,
You
he
dimension
was
door?
not paying attention to me. I don't care about him anymore.
Oh, well, he just looks disappointed as you disappear, and he's like,
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
and takes back off. He's, moving into the dance floor there. Turja, you see Horton Nail, kind of shaking it as he's writing out what's happening. Garlo, Sailor leans in close to you. That is intriguing. It's not very often that people can come back and tell the tale of their death, how they traveled, how they were sorted, the opportunities given, and then the choice to return. I have heard of it before, but not quite as the way you have done it. It's as if you were preordained and blessed. Perhaps the threads of fate have brought you here for a reason.
I don't know about fate, sir, or the wills of gods and higher beings. I just knew I needed to be back.
Mm-hmm. At that point, go ahead. Go.
No, anything.
Well, I do wish to speak to you about the other side of that, at your request. There's a lot that's changing, but the other problem is it's not what, it's when you get there. That's the question. Sim, as you're looking around, another ranger approaches you.
Okay,
Your
not you
Highness,
too.
I have a message for you.
Okay, those are easier.
Roll for initiative.
Okay.
All of us or just her?
Just her.
You're being served.
What
No!
name do you give? I'm not the princess. What are you talking about?
Oh no!
You're
Be
being
looking for the other
served
princess.
peach
That's
cobbler
classic.
for dessert.
The other, two more people come out from under the table. Those are my witnesses.
Hold on here. All right. Apparently they just updated the cool stuff, and I know they talked about it on Shard Tabletop, and I'm very excited because the new interface is actually, from a DM's perspective, pretty darn gone cool. It made it really easy to throw up the next thing. All right, what'd you roll, Sim? You
A
rolled
12.
All right. Well, what are you wearing, first of all?
Thank you for asking. I'm guessing we would have had time, or no, we went right from this to the feast apparently. So I've been in my juicy adventuring gear the entirety of dinner.
Really seals in the flavor. You know what I mean? The freshness is there.
Unless we had time to clean up beforehand. If we just went from Queen Court to this, that
Well,
was
there was some light moments, but not a full shower and changing. It was like, a fresh towel, clean up,
Yeah. So,
All right. Let's see here.
My Ice Fantasy Starbucks left on a windowsill someplace. Half drink.
Oh no,
It's sweating. It's a shame.
somebody's gonna question who Sim is and whether or not that's how you spell the name.
Jesus, that's
It's SEM for some reason.
Okay. You are immediately hit with a dagger thrust right into you.
No.
That absolutely penetrates your armor. You take 9 plus. Hold on. I know it says bludgeoning, but that's because I loaded it wrong. You take 9 piercing damage.
The dullest knife ever.
Yeah. Oh, it's very painful. 9 piercing damage. You take 11 more piercing damage from the surprise attack. I need you to make a DC 13 Constitution check.
A save?
Save, sorry. Yeah, save.
Not that helps much, but it's a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you take another 15 poison damage, and you are now poisoned.
The Grey Wolf sends his regards. The Great Hunt is still on for you.
And
I intend to collect the bounty.
now he makes his second attack. Yeah. Does a 17 hits you?
It does.
Okay. You take 7 bludgeoning damage. You have already been poisoned. You cannot be poisoned again. I don't think you get 2 sneak attacks from the... No. So, you are poisoned. You have taken another 7 points of piercing damage. You are wounded.
And I'm pissed.
And you're pissed.
Are you raging?
I'm about to be once it's my turn.
And you're hurt.
And I'm hurt. I'm bleeding.
Everyone else, roll initiative.
Thank you.
This is your chance. And, oh, by the way, as this happens, you see his face starts to peel back, and it becomes more of a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Handsome.
No, it's like a purple blue color as his face begins to change shape into this. Rafe, you can make a history check or an arcana check, your choice, to try to figure out what this thing is. But its face becomes much more smooth. Its eyes become white.
Okay, so that's a 19 on Arcana.
That is a doppelganger. It is designed to do that.
Do I get a turn before everyone else, or are we hopping right into it?
You're gonna hop right into it. I just need to know if you beat him, because if you did, you would have gotten that surprise.
First.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right, so Luciano, you've Misty stepped coincidentally. You're saying?
Dimension door.
Oh, Dimension Door. Wait a minute. You still reappear, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you reappear coincidentally 10 feet from Cimarine. You thought you were hiding. Instead, you watched her almost get murdered. What do? You have the initiative.
Did I see her get poisoned by chance, I assume?
No, you saw her get stabbed. You did not see if there was poison or not on the blade. It was pretty fast.
Okay, well, in that case, he's not gonna want to move, I'm sure, knowing Sim. So all I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and cast. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna cast Hold Monster on this guy.
Ooh, okay.
The wisdom.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Wisdom save. What's the DC?
16.
What's that?
16.
16. Sorry, it cut out on me. 16. All right, here we go. 18.
Oh, sad.
Good call. Good call.
Good shot. And anything else?
Yeah, I will go ahead and cast just in case she wants to.
Is this in addition to your casting? Is this something you can cast in addition to your other spell?
I was gonna cast a Bardic Inspiration.
Is it a bonus action?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go for it.
To Cimarine. And I'm just gonna shout.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Oh, I'm waiting for the update here. Okay, here we go. Turja, you are next. You were standing by it. You saw this happen. You've seen an attempt. You see Luciano as she's like coming back.
How far away is this guy from me?
50 feet.
I take a dagger and I throw it at him.
That is long range for a dagger.
It is, but I'm sharpshooter.
Okay. So you just...
Yes.
Okay. Do it.
Oh, that's, there we go. 24 to hit.
24 hits. Holy smokes.
Do I get sneak attack?
You do, because he is in melee with Sim.
And then
He was really focused on what he was doing there.
21 piercing damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Hell
is
yeah.
beast mode right there. All right. Okay. You see the blade strike. You see him redouble as he's going to make his next round on Sim. Rafe, what are you doing?
I'm going to move through the crowd. I don't think I can dash through a crowd, so I'm just going to move.
Okay. You move. You're approximately 25 feet from Sim at that point.
Okay.
Now, Garlo, just heads up so you know what's going on. You are only 5 feet from Sim.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I've got bonus action, dash, and everything. I could clear this room pretty quick.
Yeah, because she had just turned away to walk away when all of this started to happen. All right. Rafe, so you moved, and anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. Garlo, I'm assuming you're moving directly into melee with the doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go for it.
Yeah, Garlo is going to move right into him, and yeah, it's just like it's all of a sudden like sees it and sees the dagger and just like drops whatever like plate of food or drinks he had in his hands, and just like in his hands by his sides, the daggers just come out, and he jumps up with his boots of springing and like goes for like under the rib stabs with his psionic daggers. And so he's going to do it recklessly. Not going to rage, though. So, but
I didn't know you
reckless-
could do this reckless without raging. That's pretty cool.
Yup. And so first attack, and this should be sneak attack because I have advantage, correct?
You do.
So that's a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
That's 13 psychic damage.
Okay.
And that's my first attack. Second attack, also reckless, but not sneak attack anymore. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Okay. That's 10 more psychic damage. And since I didn't rage, I will use a bonus action and do one more attack. It goes down in damage, but it's still an extra attack.
Okay.
But also reckless. 12 to hit. Might not do it, though.
12 misses.
Okay.
What did we say hits? 16?
We didn't say.
16 hit last time.
16 hits, but we didn't say. Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry. I didn't roll an advantage. I didn't roll advantage on either of them.
Oh,
God.
that's correct. But we'll only count
Holy.
this one.
That's good. I'll go for the crit fish. 25 to hit.
25 does hit.
And then that is an additional 7 psychic damage.
Oh.
So 30 psychic damage in total.
You see him hurting. And then he tackles Cimarine. They begin rolling onto the ground. And then suddenly, there are 2 Cimarines covered in blood standing before you. The first one says, "What, Cimarine?"
Nothing towards them. I'm just cursing out in Sylvan this asshole. Ruining a perfectly good dinner.
The other one looks back and says, Submarine says, remember how we saw you get up from the table, Garlo? Remember, that's me. I remember that. I was there when you came back. You can't tell the difference now, and one has just told you something that you know about you that the doppelganger theoretically shouldn't know.
Yeah, but one cursed.
I'm dead.
One was cursing. So that's also very sim-like.
Okay. And Simran, it is your move.
About time. So.
Oh, and one other thing. It drinks something.
Oh, I wonder what. It's probably poison.
They're crazy about it. They
If it wanted to
love
be a
that
fair
stuff.
fight, yeah.
Yeah.
So one submarine just drank something, the other one's Kirsten Sylvan, one's just told Garlo. At this point, now I will take over the voice of Submarine for both after this because you cannot tell the difference between the Sims.
I would like to
Mm-hmm.
use my limb to just rip out his throat. My throat. As I look up at myself, drinking this thing. And we're just that's what we're gonna do is kill ourselves. And so yes, we're gonna go for that primal savagery first.
Okay, go for it.
I would like to hold on, Reed. Don't say anything. Don't say a thing. I don't know who it is, but I would like to cast auspicious warning. Roll a d4.
What does this do?
It's basically she gets to roll a d4 and add it to her roll.
It's like a bless.
But
Yeah.
which one are you casting it on?
The one that's attacking specifically. I'm like, yeah, get her, Sim.
Make an insight check.
I don't care who it is. I'm assuming.
Oh,
Sim
okay,
is
okay, I'll let this go. Auspicious warning. All right, roll a d4.
D4.
She also still has your bless too. So
the bardic.
Well, my bardic, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna add on top of that.
So that's 15.
So what's the bardic? Was it a D8?
D8.
Yeah. I'm just going to use that right now.
Okay.
Fuck's sake! Sorry.
Yeah. Fucking
That's a 16.
crawled it, but you got the
Yeah,
16.
so you got 16. No critical hit, but you got 16.
And I think the reason I just barely got there is because I'm literally looking at myself and having to come to terms with ripping out my own throat.
And you hit.
So we're gonna roll
The
damage.
claw strike.
Ba-bam! For 12 acid damage. And I
The throat is now injured and acid has coursed through.
what color is its blood?
Let me check that. That is an interesting take. I did not know if there was a difference there.
hemoglobin are we
but,
looking at here?
Let's see
Just say,
here.
it could be just
What
It's,
color is Sim's blood?
There is.
oh no. We
There
never
is red
checked.
blood definitely coming out.
I am I assume I'm on the ground as we're like rolling around, right?
Okay.
Rip out throat,
Rip
blood
up throat. Yeah.
pours onto face,
Mm.
and I'm going to rage
Okay.
and go for my next attack.
Alright.
So you do hear one of the Sims
Mhm.
scream in fury under the blood.
Mother, help me!
The other one yells.
Homer. We're gonna do that again. 21 should hit this time.
21 hits.
Or 11. Oh, let's add on our
Plus 2,
psychic.
baby. Oh, sorry. Your rage
um,
too.
Oh, that's right. My rage. which adds 5. God, it's been too long. Oh no, we won't worry about that. 2? Okay. So 13, and then I don't write down my handy dandy notes. I'm so sorry. D4. An additional D4 for my psychic.
Four. Oh.
Ah, it's all right. So
And
total
how much
14.
more for raging? How much for raging?
In total, will be 14. It'll be 11 plus 2 plus 1.
Okay. So I added the damage as you went, so I didn't have it all memorized
Fair.
which was which. So bear with me.
You're
All
good.
right, so that's it. You see it grab, and it's now pulled its claw at the ready, and it's looking pretty pissed. What in the world is that? I need to say. Luciano, it's your move.
Hell yeah, it is. All right, I go for Mantle of Majesty.
It looks at you and says, Sim looks at you and says, Luciano, help me.
I'm going to cast command on it using my flute.
Okay. You take out your dagger flute.
That would be Wisdom saving throw 16 with disadvantage. On the one that's bleeding out, throat hurt.
Well, it's already failed with a 6, so if I
Hell
roll
yeah.
disadvantage, it still failed at a 6.
And so I would like to command it. And you can tell me if I can or not. I'm gonna tell it to reveal.
Can you
Interesting.
link that spell for me real quick? What was this? Command?
Command.
Command.
Yeah.
If I could,
Did you click the button to cast it?
I don't have a button. It's part of my Mantle of Majesty.
Oh,
right.
Let me just take a look on your character sheet then, just to double check. Because if you're asking me if I'll let it happen, I just need to double check here.
Yeah.
It should
Good-
be. Where's that
Good
under?
Word choice.
Is that under your?
It's
spell
under
list?
Mantle of Majesty. It's under my features.
Class feature.
Okay, give me a sec. There it is. Let me see here. Command. Approach, trap, flee. I will allow this. At the command of reveal, you watch it go. Its eyes turn white, and then you just see it peel back as everything starts to change over. It still retains the clothes now of the former elf it was wearing before, but it is now skin and body of the doppelganger itself. And then the clothes shift into the skin as you see a mostly naked, without feature, humanoid body there, holding a dagger.
Hell yeah.
And its throat. The Grey Wolf will be satiated. I am not the last. I am but the third.
I'm so confused. What? And I will. I'm gonna end it there. Well, I'm gonna move a little bit out of the way. I have a raging sim, and this guy's covered in blood, and so I'm gonna leave it to Sim. So I'm gonna take like 10 feet of movement away. Everybody back!
All right, and do it. Here it goes. What are you doing?
I'm just stepping back. I just
Oh,
moved
you're
out
just
of the way.
stepping back. Everybody back out of
Yeah.
the way. Oh, okay. I thought you were getting ready to do something else. Okay.
No.
Apologies, I misunderstood. All right. At that point, Turja, it's your move.
We still have multiple copies of Sim, right? We
Mm-mm.
have multiple
No.
Sims of
The,
Sim.
the reveal has revealed, and you see the dagger sticking out of the back of it too. By the way.
Okay. In that case, I draw my rapier and rush forward, and I attack the doppelganger.
You We're 50 feet away before
I use my bonus action to dash.
you're dashing. Okay, boom, you were in dash range. All right, make your attack.
Rapier. There it is.
Rapier. Very important distinction.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 does hit.
Is it still in melee range? Or is it as a, like Sim or Luciano or somebody still in melee range of them?
Sim is, yes. And so is Garlo.
13 piercing damage.
And you see it. You jab it, and it reaches for Sim one more time. And doubles over. Everything goes quiet as the entire court has just only, in the speed at which you executed this, the queen already had cast a spell and was about to release. You see her immediately dissipate and come rushing to Sim, her daughter. Sailor himself comes over. What was the name of the plant wizard?
Mila?
Mila also surges forward. Mila places hands upon you.
As people approach, as I was just freshly from a rage, it probably wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world. First instinct to lash out at anyone who got too close.
Whoa, daughter.
Snarl. And just prime feral creature as the rage comes down.
You've done what you needed to do.
Garlo, the second there's a beat, he locks eyes, gets eyes on all the party members and establishes a psychic connection immediately. So it's just locks, sees everybody and just immediately cues off, so we're connected in case any more tomfoolery happens.
Okay. And you see, was it Mila? I can't pronounce that. Mila shows up. Easy, child. Let me take the pain away. You feel the coursing burning of the poison in your system. She places her hands upon the wound in your belly. It touches your cheek. Easy, child. I understand your anger. It's very real. It's kept you alive this day. Let it go for a brief moment. And you feel a warmth, not a burning, and then a coolness as you can feel the poisoned effects are dissipating almost immediately in your system, and a healing begins. You are hit with a healing spell of such force. After all, you are the queen's daughter. That immediately brings you back up to full hit points. So go ahead and bring yourself back up. And horrified, there is a purple-skinned beast with a knife in its back. Wounds all over it now, thanks to Garlo and Sem and Turja and Luciano. That have obviously killed it. And your uncle is asking, well, if this creature is here, where is Saladin Grey?
Dead in a ditch, probably.
Yeah. This is going to be a problem.
Can I take... Oh, go ahead.
I want to check the doppelganger's pockets.
There's no pockets.
Oh, right. It's
Is there even clothing?
I mean, you start checking and you're feeling hips, and people are like, "What are you doing?"
I thought for some reason he was still wearing the elven clothes, but
I'm looking for pockets, and there's no pockets. Yeah, I mean, you've never seen one of these things before, so you're just checking this thing out, like you're like poking it. Do something. You know.
Oh, I'm not being gentle with this thing at all.
Yeah.
If I could kick it a few more times, I would.
And you do.
I reclaim my dagger.
They seem to have it all
Clean it
handled.
off before putting it back in its sheath.
Do you wipe it on the doppelganger?
Yeah.
As you start to do that, the records keeper comes over. Towel?
I'd appreciate it.
No problem. All right.
I
Can I
I would
make-
like to take the rest of my minute that I have my mantle of majesty, and I'm quote an unearthly beauty. I would like to go hopped up on adrenaline back to that guy, frustrated, grab him, command him to follow, and
Are
then
you
lead him-
using magic to do this?
Yeah, I command him. I'm like, follow me.
Is that a charm spell?
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
I'm still an unearthly beauty, and
So
I'm
what?
Let's
dragging
be
him.
into it.
Yeah, he might be into it. I'm trying.
This is amazing. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. All right. You drag that elf to a closet.
Hell yeah.
You go down
for
the
you, Lucy.
hall into a storage room. The door slams. There's a lot of sounds.
Sure.
All right, Garlo. What were you saying?
Garlo, when it, like, after he gets the connection set up, he like springs onto one of the tables, and then can I make a perception check on anything else like that? Garlo's on high alert, so he's just like looking out. Does he see anything? Does he notice anybody, like anyone looking like, oh damn it, the plan didn't work, some bullshit like that?
Make an insight check.
Or a perception check?
This would be an insight check in this case because
Well, I'm more looking for if anyone's acting suspicious, like if there's anyone.
so that would be an insight check. Like that would be someone hiding that they're trying to act suspicious versus a perception check, which is to discover a something is there that it's not.
And I'm gonna put some extra stank on this ball,
Okay.
because I've got psi boosted knack,
Mhm.
so I can add a psionic power die to an ability check. Yep. And I only expend it if it succeeds. So let's see what happens. And that's 13. So
You don't see anyone other than the court horrified. Some have moved away and shifted. You see the King's Guard and the Rangers themselves have bows drawn and pointed at the doppelganger's body, ready to go. And they're checking each other and checking the room as well. But what really intrigues you is the small chest on the table has started to try to walk away to get away from the table. It's this tiny, it's a chest about, hang on a second, I'll show you. About this size right here. And it's got legs that have suddenly appeared, and it's tiptoeing, like trying to make its way off of the large table where it was.
Was the ranger who just tried to assassinate Sim the same one that gave her the gift?
Yep.
Ah.
No, it was not. No, it was
Oh,
not.
okay.
Sorry about that. No, it was not. The gift giver, however, is standing there with bows, shocked. You see nothing different on his face other than shock.
I put my boot on the chest.
So you jump up, funk.
Well, so I'm on the table
You're on the
anyway,
table.
so I just
Okay,
clock it, and I just like, full, just like Captain Morgan style, just.
Whatever the thing is, it's squeaking.
Her uncle is nearby, like in the.
Yeah, he's immediately noticed this.
You have a more private area we might discuss what just happened?
Oh, I think that's in order. Your Highness, it is highly recommended we clear the court. And the Queen says, agreed, make it so. And the King's Guard, or the Queen's Guard, Captain of the Guard, immediately says, everyone out! And everyone immediately moves out. Strangely, y'all can't find Luciano.
Garlo's just like, no, I know where he is.
Luciano, as you're, in the middle of it, you hear a whole bunch of people like going by and going. And that's when you discover you're in the coat closet.
Yep.
Where everyone needs to get their coat.
Discover? Like that wasn't the goal? What?
So you've locked the door, and people are like, why is the door locked? Why can't we get to our cloaks and robes and everything else and our accoutrements from the, we want to go out in, the chill forced air, blah, blah, blah. And like, there's banging on the door. Like, who locked the door from the inside? Is someone in there?
I would like to finish up and then Dimension door out.
Where do you appear?
Good luck explaining.
Yeah, I dimension door behind everybody in the main room, back
As
where I
a-
remembered.
You're right in the rain room, pulling up your pants just as you dimension door back out.
Straightening my hair. Yeah.
And someone else is apparently like, you hear a crowd down behind the closed doors just as they close, as everybody's there, and your friends are in the room looking at you, who's just popped into existence, pulling his pants up, tying them. And they're like, what do you say? When you
Me?
turn around and realize everybody's looking at you.
Oh, crazy situation we were just in, isn't that right? So,
Was it fun?
oh, it was fantastic.
Good. I'm glad. I have great choice.
My lady, we have pertinent things. Garlo, do you have what appears to be a small mimic at your boot?
Something like that, I'd imagine. And Garlo just like does the thing so like if everyone's around, he
innuendo.
just like kicks it with the heel so it just like lobs over like in front of everybody else.
And you see it, like as he kicks it, you see it literally fly through the air and change from a chest to a pot to a mug, like a big mug like this, to a chest again, and to a blob, and then to a chest again, and bounce. Boom, 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 boom. And it immediately starts to scamper like a rat to try to get away.
Okay, but what if we have a pet mimic now?
Yeah, yeah, I think we have to.
I mean,
I
I can catch
feel-
it.
Justified? Never accept gifts from people you don't know.
Can I just grab it again?
Yeah,
is
grab
trying
it.
to
You
get
snatch
away?
it up,
Just-
or you make a grappling check.
Yeah,
You
I'm-
bolt off
I'm-
the table after kicking it.
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, do it anyway.
Okay.
Mr. Confident.
It's a plus 12,
Yeah.
18,
You snatch it
and
up.
then I can. Yeah.
You snatch
Oh,
it
yeah.
up. Yeah, you snatch it up. So I mean, you can still roll a 1, buddy. You could have still done it. So
Hold
you
it.
snatch it up, you hold it, and it's held, and then you see it like open up. It's like giant piranha teeth as it's snapping, but it can't quite get an angle on you. It is moving like a angry. How would I describe this thing? Tasmanian devil. It
Hell
is.
yeah.
It is ferocious. It is trying to bite at you.
Sweet.
If such things could be feral, this is what they are.
I'm trying to think like Garlo just like as it's biting, Garlo just like puts its nose in the ground.
So you jam its face down. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, stop. Settle down. It's
All right. That, I mean, it's kind of like just being still.
I mean, we're probably gonna need a cage, although it could turn into
leash
a
on it.
cage.
Yeah.
What the hell is a gray wolf?
You've never
Well,
seen a wolf, Garlo?
They come in all sorts of colors. Well, I'm not sure if you all remember this, but we got jumped before, way back when. That's how we got your fancy scythe thing, right?
I remember us getting jumped before, yes.
I like.
And-
I'm counting on my hands. Like which time?
There was a really handsome ranger. I'm starting to sense a theme. Who,
Oh, I'm remembering.
you and I were fighting for his attentions, and I had won fair and square. He also
Yeah.
wanted to murder me. I'm sure those two things aren't related.
Mm-mm.
They're probably related.
Okay, all right.
Not for-
Anyways, he was scary and gross, and we killed him too, and he said he was with the Grey Wolf. And this just guy said he was part of a third, so there's probably one more running around. Someone
Do
who
you
wants...
have any idea who the Grey Wolf is?
I've been trying to rack my brain around that for the last year and a half. I can't think of guy.
Well, it's not
I know
him.
when-
We know that.
Well, yeah, he said he was working for him. I remember going to one of the book places that we like to visit, and I tried looking up him, and there's a bounty, I think, but there wasn't
You
really
do have a
information.
poster of a bounty on your possession, if I recall. It was quite sizable.
It's probably not like on my person, but like I have it around someplace.
Mm-hmm.
We can probably get Kirkin to fax it to us. But I don't know who he is, other than kind of a dick, I think.
Do you think it might have anything to do with the time you spent trapped in the Feywild?
I have a sneaky suspicion it might have something to do with the time I spent in the Feywild.
Well, she also owed a lot of money to people. It could be that.
I do. Well, I think that's mostly in the past now. I can't think of
Yeah,
anyone who
yeah.
We
money
paid
I owe.
Rook back, remember?
Yeah.
Assuming he's still alive, because I think
One debtor.
I think his place burned down.
And I look at the uncle, and be like, "Have you had any dealings with both characters? Or what else did he say? He said something about a hunt."
Great hunt. Is that something I'm familiar with?
The Great Wild Hunt.
Great Wild Hunt.
Yeah, the Wild Hunt is basically a bounty has been declared on you, and you are now the subject
cool.
of a wild hunt.
I'll parse that out.
Mm-hmm.
Just the specifics, since there was indication that I was a bounty. And they want me dead, so that's less favorable. It's not like it's a bring in alive situation.
We need to
that's
find who put this bounty on you. Make them undeclare it.
I had to guess it's probably the lady. Probably.
The lady?
Yeah, of Silverlight. She's the one that has Hearthade.
Her thing?
Hearthade, brother.
Oh, Hearthade.
I was mumbling, you're fine.
Was she the one who had you before you managed to get away?
Yeah. We were given to her, and then we spent 500 odd years or so, apparently. So I imagine she's not thrilled by me being gone.
I see.
So do you guys want to kill an archfey or something? Because that might just rid us a lot of problems.
Oh,
Are there more
create more
these?
problems, wouldn't it?
Or would it?
I feel like it would.
But not, maybe.
I mean,
I
we create a
don't
power
know.
vacuum and just debilitize a whole court, and I'm not sure how that could possibly go wrong, at least for a period of time.
The court's over there. We live over here.
I mean, they could send people, but if they're vying for their own situation, then we can go for their economy. At this point, she's just spewing words she vaguely remembers from her lessons.
Just all the
Yeah.
courtly stuff is just like coming out. Then the infrastructure.
Infrastructure, if we can go for their water.
They would be angry at us if they knew we were the ones who'd done it. What if they didn't know who'd done it? Or what if they thought it was somebody inside their own court? I bet their politics are pretty cutthroat.
That's an option. I think once I show up, though, it's gonna, if not be fight on sight, it's gonna not be easy.
Show up as someone else? A disguise?
It could be someone else.
Actually, bearing this in mind, is the uncle nearby?
Oh, he's there. He's listening.
Remind me again why you want to put Cimmerine in danger right after you found her.
Well, first of all, I'm not putting her in danger. She's putting her in danger.
She?
Second of all,
Who's she? The queen?
Cimmerine.
She. I'm
Second
she.
of all, it looks to me like Cimmerine handled herself quite well. I mean, notwithstanding your support.
I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about sending her to the Feywild. Surely there are others you can send besides Cimmerine herself.
No one knows who or what her brother is right now. And also, it's a good chance we might get her name back, her voice back.
Her voice back.
Also, who could really stop her?
I was gonna say,
Fair enough.
probably like smoking a cigar, like a cigarette now. Had to lose in battle there.
Lucy, is that the different shirt you were wearing?
Yeah.
And besides that, her mother did it once before. Now
Did
it's her
what once
turn.
before?
Put an end to the Feywild messing around in our area. Too many years ago.
Is there some sort of rite of passage your royals have to go through in order to rule? Is that what's going on here?
No, not at all. What it is the Feywild attempting to, well, impinge its tendrils into, well, our world's business. They do this roughly, every 100 years. We fight them around the gnarled tree. I think when the Queen did it, the gnarled tree was only 200 years old.
I see.
That's true, she says. It was a terrible event. They sent an army. We fought it off, and then we went through before they could reestablish themselves, and we destroyed their army right then and there. But in this case, it looks like they're taking a different tack. They already took you once, 500 years ago. Right after my army destroyed theirs. Now, you're back. And I mean to see you whole again. After you regain your name. And get your brother back too.
And at this point, I'm going to kind of like side shuffle. And it's a quieter conversation, not private, just quieter for Turja. I don't know if I can articulate this in a way that makes sense, because it's going to sound childish. But I made a promise. I promised Arthade I'd come back when I was stronger.
No,
I can't.
I do understand. I just wonder if I wonder if you have the right to risk yourself if you are out of this throne, and I worry that there are those who might like to see you, who would not weep to see you stuck in the Feywild forever.
And turning back to the group, probably more serious than we're used to seeing Sim. I need you all to understand at this point, if the option is me or Arthade, we're getting Arthade out. Okay?
I'm not sure I agree with that, but we'll consider it.
It still will give an heir to the Queen. I left him. He made a bargain, but I left him. Very nearly walked over his body to leave. Left him. And he didn't hear my promise, but I still made the promise. He deserves to be back here more than me. If it's an option to have us both, don't get me wrong, but if it becomes a between, we're picking him.
Lucy's not going to agree, but he is going to say, he's like, of course, we're going to leave with Arthade. Yes.
Good job, Lucy.
Carlo's not making eye contact.
Noble as that is, my daughter, we want you both back.
Definitely plan A.
That's why we'll be sending 10 of my best guard and 2 of our rangers with you.
Best rangers, right?
Yes.
Okay. You called the guards best, but not the rangers. I was just...
But not your uncle.
Those guys are on the bench. They needed a little exercise.
But not your uncle. He's needed here to train the rest.
Mm-hmm.
You will be our strike team into the Feywild, into the Unseelie Fae's heart. Rescue your brother, do as much damage as you can,
get out safe and alive. We're gonna send you through the old tree, the twisted tree. They'll never expect you to come right back through it. The only catch is we don't know when you'll get there.
Right.
On the other side. And I hope you come back a lot faster than 500 years. Getting old, you know.
You look great.
Thank you. It's the soap.
You look fantastic.
It's this basic hygiene routine I do.
You need a shower.
Why?
Not you.
What?
Although, yes, you do. And some prestidigitation for the blood. You, sir. In my own court. On the jackets. I already
So
got the
proud.
report from the wizards.
The jackets.
And cloaks.
You want me to do it on the bare floor? What? What?
Animal.
Garlo, you still have a death grip on this mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And like full on, I think there was a bit of Garlo trying to do like training or whatever, but after Sim got serious, it's Garlo not squish, but Garlo has a like locked grip on it and isn't paying attention to it. It's one of those things where his hand is just like in the clenched position and just holding on to it. So it can try to move or bite, but
It's
I mean,
not
it's
doing
not
anything.
going
It's holding still.
No.
And as long as you're pushing it down, it's not moving.
I've just got it. I've got it by the hinges.
Rafe, what about you?
I'm debating. I think I think I'm just going to continue with things as they are.
Very well. Well, let's get some rest. Tomorrow we'll set out. They know you're here now. No doubt a message was sent before he attempted the murder. We'll have guards posted outside your door. No one will get in and out. Cimmerian, you will be safe. And we will place wards upon all of your doors. You will be protected for this night.
In the psychic chat, Garlo's like, are we putting a tent up in somebody's room?
My room is so big now. You guys have to see it.
Yep.
Putting
Perfect.
a tent up in the room. Well, I mean, doable, but a little bit uncouth. What do you think?
You're uncouth.
He's so right. We have so many blankets and pillows and chairs. Let's build this fort up.
Royal Palace sleepover.
So somehow between all the guards, they start to, guards are summoned immediately to escort you to all of your rooms, but you're like, no, we're all gonna go check out my room first. It's so big. And so like there's 30 guards standing outside of Sim's door. And you guys go in, and her room is plush. I mean plush. Picture the coolest, finest of elven accoutrement. Fluffy blankets, soft pillows, warm furs, beautiful lighting. And you build the best pillow fort you've ever built in your lives with all the pillows. There are pillows that are needlessly there just to have pillows on top of pillows. Sim, what shape are all the pillows? Do you have all the different shapes?
Yes, I had thought they're just pillows, and I went,
You got round
she
ones,
has
square
she
ones,
has a crescent
triangles.
one.
Yeah.
It almost looks like preteen bedroom. just posters on the wall, fun shapes. That's great.
Garlo, who is hick through and through, just sees that like your bed has like like an 8-foot bed has like 6 feet worth of pillows just like letting up from the headboard. It's like, that's too many pillows.
Oh, and it's like a super king. It's like a double king. It's like
Yeah,
got
just-
room for days. You could play
just like-
football on this thing.
Yeah.
It's
Too many
ridiculous.
pillows.
Yeah. And
You gotta put 'em all on
sumptuous
the ground.
blankets. There are carafes and pitchers of various things. For some reason, there's like 5 or 6. You guys notice this as you're trying to pick up pillows and you drop one. Garlo spots it first. There's like 5 or 6 empty bottles of elven wine underneath her bed that were left there. Possibly like a broken carafe that she kind of swept under there too. Just to not tell anybody because it was full of, probably human wine. But it was what it was, right? And with that, we're going to take a short break while they set up their tent and they get their long rest. back, everybody. I had to put on a hoodie because it's actually the air conditioning is working, unfortunately, very, very well on this very hot day in the DC area. So for everybody else, this is not a different episode. I didn't change. I just changed the top there. Okay, everybody else is still looking the same. Beautiful human beings that they are. All right. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Excited to be here. Excited to find out what happens next as the party has set up a tent fort. I mean, a magic tent, and a pillow fort surrounding it. Kind of interestingly, Sim has a lot of really cool features in her room. So some of the cool things that she does is she touches this little globe thing, and the ceiling changes from like this lovely wood ivory color to whatever cool thing she has all sorts of options for, including like night sky, pictures of the moons with the tears of Isha. You've got this other one that's like, oh look, lovely twilight with fireflies, and she leaves it at that. Or what is another setting you want? You want
No, that one's perfect. That's like the perfect one.
So it not only that, it has sound ambiance built in as well. So do we have crickets playing in the background, cicadas, perhaps a nice evening thing? And here's the best part: no mosquitoes, none. There are no mosquitoes in her room. This ambiance, but the fireflies, they're all magical. But you see them dancing along the ceiling here and there, lighting up with a cute little glow as the twilight, darkness, and light hits. So it's this perfect amount of just enough light to see each other's faces, but not so much that you couldn't sleep right through it pleasantly. So as you're sitting around, 30 guards stand outside the door, and they are not going to knock. They're going to be there until you're ready to go.
Well, we have a fort. So there has to be at least 2 of them guarding the fort entrance.
You want them in the
They're
room with
outside
us?
the door.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to let them in,
So they can see the tent that's been set up in there?
They do not have access to Fort Kickass.
It's fair. You need clearance.
so as you're sitting around the campsite, we'll call it the Pillow Fort campsite, Fort Kickass. What are you guys going to do while you're there? Are you going to go to sleep? What are you going to talk about?
Okay, so like, I know they've been there or whatever, but I've been there longer, and I feel like I should warn you guys about a few things. There's gonna be a test later. At least that's what they used to tell me, so maybe take notes. I'm not sure who's testing us, though.
Worse pop quiz.
Lucy, you hear in your head in the psychic chat, okay, we're going to cheat, right? We're going to work together on this?
Yeah, we cheat off Rafe.
Just 2 heads piled in. It's good. So, okay, so I've said that I'm from the Feywild. This isn't a surprise. We're kind of aware of that part of it. I haven't been lying. Mostly. I just haven't specified. And that, something important to know about the Feywild is that it's not just like one collective of people. You have your Seelie court and your unseelie court. And Seelie's kind of probably what you guys expect. You know, the pretty ones. With the flowers and like lots of plant stuff. And they seem nice. No one here is nice. Fun fact, not a single one. Trust nobody. Don't care how nice they seem.
The Seelie or the Unseelie?
Both.
Oh, all right.
They're both terrible in their own ways. Just...
I tell Brandon, this is going to be easy. Everybody sucks. This test is going to be so easy.
They're just terrible in different ways. They like inhabit different things, but ultimately boil down to the same. Hang on, let's see if I can explain better. So like, again, Seelie, pretty. It looks really similar to here. Colors are a little different, a little bit brighter, more pinks and purples and like bright colors. And it's like our world, but not. It's really similar, but it's uncomfy.
Are the Seelie the ones who have your brother?
No, the Unseelie do. The Unseelie are scary in a way that is like that doppelganger. The Unseelie belong to, like the Gloaming Court, I guess, and they can't party with the Seelie. There's lots of fighting. there's a sister queen to each, and there was a gem, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to lessons back then either. But what's important to know is that the Unseelie can't party with the Seelie, and they're left on the outskirts, and their land sucks. A lot. Sometimes they're in caves. It kind of depends on who's ruling that like little pocketed area. The lady, she has she's above, she's like on surface, I guess, but it's thorns and brambles, and it's pokey wherever you go. And she has a castle, but even her castle's pointy, and it's not fair. And it's always nighttime there. And I think the reason they call her Lydia Silverlight is because it's something to do with the stars. And I'm not sure how that works exactly, other than that's the connection I've gained from them. It would be really romantic if it had a touch of color, but it just hurts. Basically, razor blades wherever you go.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's just so many pointy, sharp plants. Leaving there wasn't a walk in the park.
I see.
So I know sometimes people talk about the Feywild as this really pretty, gorgeous place. This is not it. This is a place of nightmares. The Unseelie are a much more primal type Fey, where the Seelie kind of enjoy the refinement. The Unseelie just enjoys the savage nature of being an animal. They believe that's the best thing that they can do to be themselves. And that being said, depending on where we are, the rules are going to change. So, like, in the Feywild proper, don't steal from anybody. It's not nice, but also it's rude. It's more fair game with the Unseelie, because then it becomes like a game, and they'll chase you down. Rules change, so you have to listen to me when we're someplace and I say, hey, don't do that. Or if I shush you, shush, trust me. And even then, I still might be wrong. There's a whole rule of hospitality where if you enter someone's home, they're obligated to be hospitable to you. But if you don't set the cup right on their counter, I don't know, they still blew from you for a year. It's
What
dumb.
happens if you enter the home without their express permission? Do they still have to be nice to you?
Well, that's not hospitality.
Oh, just checking.
That's invasion, right? So these really minutia things, but like it's a quid pro quo kind of thing. And if you don't accept gifts, don't give your name. Everyone pick a fake name right now. Do not give them your real name. Don't say thank you, because they're gonna take that as like, oh yeah, great, I did do you a service, and then you're gonna owe them. There's so many rules, and I'm sorry for who I'll be while I'm in there.
Who you'll be?
I survived there for a long time, and I lost a very major part of myself during that process. If Harthade hadn't gotten, well, it should have been us, but if he hadn't gotten me out then, I wouldn't be me now. I think I would have been slipped into their court fairly easily.
Do we need to worry about Harthade not wanting to come with us?
It's possible. Shit, he may be the Grey Wolf. I honestly don't know. I tried to look into that too, but I couldn't find anything. I don't know who he's gonna be. He may not even remember me. It might have been yesterday that I left. Since time is such a weird, wobbly thing, if anyone doesn't want to come, I understand. This isn't an obligation or, I know this shouldn't be taken lightly, so I will owe you all a great debt for coming and getting this done, one way or another.
I don't think there's a question of whether or not we're coming. And I don't think you should feel indebted to us for doing so.
It's a big ask. It's more than asking for your carriage when I'm moving apartments.
Garlo, did you have any plans for the next half millennia?
Garlo's just like kind of like sitting there looking at their like is like a little brazier or like a fireplace in the room sort of thing.
Oh, there's a few fireplaces in that room.
I was just looking at it and like hearing all this him says and like doing that like kind of like cracking his knuckles thing with one hand, and it's just like, what hurts, Faye?
Kind of depends. I mean, I don't know. We're all pretty locked and loaded. Does anyone not have something that glows at this point? Like waving around my wrist with the bracelet. Missing the implication that Garla just gave.
Yeah.
Is there anything that, while you were there, is there anything that they avoid or they are scared of? I've heard, you know, there's fairy tales and whatnot back where I'm from, things of cold iron, things of that nature, but is there anything that this is all beyond me. What can hurt them?
Well, there's the arrow we found at Undermountain.
Why?
But I think we want to save that for the Silver Lady, whoever she is.
Yeah, it seems like a one-shot thing. I was more curious if there's anything. You're also the wizard you introduced me to said things have been changing.
I mean, I've been here for the last year or so, so I don't know if it's changing. I wasn't intending on going back so soon, but now seems to be the right time.
It's possible
weirdly
that
enough,
hundreds of years have passed there. In the
as
year
far-
you've been here.
and it could have been 2 Tuesdays or Fantasy Tuesdays. We'll know once we're there. I think. Let me sleep on it, because funny enough, the things that they're weak against, they don't really keep next to their bed. So like I don't really know off the top of my head on that one. But I can think on it. And every creature can be different. So we might see blink dogs there, and we might see quicklings, and we might see redcaps. And each of them are going to have their own weaknesses. I'm not sure if there's a way for us to fully tackle them as a whole, besides going in with sharp blades and strong mites. Oh yeah, they're like super charismatic. Are we worried about that with anyone?
Garlo like is looking at you and just trying so hard not to look at Lucy. It's just like just straining, just like head is locked in, and you just see the eyes are just like.
It pans past Garlo
Look
to the
great
rest.
at Lucy and give him a long
I look at Turja. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Turja? Is that
It
who
pans past Garlo, and everybody else is looking at Luciano.
We might want to see if there's like a scroll or two or something to help against that, because they're also flip side, Lucy. This might be hard too. Sorry, I'm not sure you guys heard that. They're also not super prone to be charmed themselves.
They haven't met me yet.
You're right. Who are we kidding? Who could resist you, Lucy?
Exactly.
Although maybe Captain Drake should be the one in command here.
We'll see who pops out.
Yeah, I think that's mostly what comes to mind. Lady Keverus of the Silverlight. I can't promise I won't throw hands with her if I see her. I'll be honest, and I'm not sure that's a fight I'm gonna win, but it'd be worth it. Probably.
Sounds like it.
She's kind of awful. Terrible.
That's a name y'all might want to write down.
Lady of the Silver Light.
Lady what of the Silverlight?
Cavirus. Caviress.
Sim, and don't take this the wrong way, but what is the primary focus of us doing this? Are you out for blood, or are you out for your brother? I'm not saying we won't hit both, or also and stopping the Fae from entering, which I guess they're like creeping vine, just kind of, they keep coming back and you have to cut them down, but I'm not saying we can only achieve one, but what are we after, first and foremost?
We're after Hearthade. And last I knew, he was with her.
And if it comes to it, you're going to have to abandon your revenge. If it's a difference between getting Hothade out or not.
I stand by what I said earlier. We're getting him out.
All right?
It's not plan A. I like you all. I like it here. If it comes down to it, I left before. I can leave again.
Luciano's gonna like think he's being like suave and be like, Tim, hand on shoulder, you have my kazoo. I'm with you until the end.
I don't have your kazoo. Did you lose it?
Shit, and I like immediately like nervous for myself, like no, I got it.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, I'm glad you're here, and your kazoo's here too.
I can't say I can't say that I'm going to agree with what you said, but I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to get both of you out.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I'd look to the others, be like, if anyone has any pressing business, it might be a smart idea to write letters this evening, as we are not sure when exactly we'll be coming back.
But I just wrote a bunch of letters.
Then you don't have to write more, it's fine. I actually wrote a letter to my family. Yeah.
Oh.
Good.
I'm gonna write one to Terry, bequeathing him Stampy, and tell him that I know he'll look after him. And
so you bequeathed him a skunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
A very good skunk. Stampy is the best pet we've had.
He's way better than that badger.
Way better than the badger. And God only knows where the Tressum is.
They're all sitting at West Mercantile Diversified at this point.
Hell yeah.
In various
I'm just gonna write to James. Let him know, like, hey, it's been a while. Basically, like, didn't know what to say. Sadly, have to go away. Hope to see you, at some point. Can't give you the most vague and like useless letter, but just like, hey, didn't know what to say. Still don't. Okay.
Is it written though on like high elven royalty stationery? So it's one of those like brag thing. It's like, oh no, from the desk of the queen of the elves or whatever. So
it looks vaguely like you wrote from a fancy hotel.
Or that you stole stuff off the desk of the princess of the elves of the Forest of Ardor.
Could be. Who knows?
Yeah, I've already. Yeah. Beautiful. Which all of which sounds fun and entertaining when you're receiving it. You're like, what just happened? Huh? What's going on? Where was he?
Is that guy I hooked up with once upon a time?
Yeah.
Right before that boat from the air came down and sent fire and brimstone down on everyone? Yeah. All right. Okay. So, sleepy time occurred. You guys had a good time. You guys, wrap up your discussions. You sleep through the night. It's a very restful sleep. Um, you all wake up refreshed. Go ahead and do any long rest maintenance you need to do. Um, the next morning, there is a knock at the door. Go ahead, Garlo. You're going
I
to say
do
something first?
just one quick thing before we like fully go to sleep for the night, and I just talk to Sim, and I'm like, I know we're going into somewhere dangerous. I don't know what. I know you're a princess, so you probably have really nice equipment and things, but I don't know if you can use this or if you would like to, and I will produce the wand of fireballs.
A stick, thanks.
A bit. It's got a bit
No, it's really
more
cool.
firepower than normal sticks probably
What's it
do.
do?
Oh God.
Thank goodness she's not attuned to it yet.
You gave her a gun, Garlo.
Yeah,
Knows
I
nothing
do.
about
Really
trigger
big
safety.
gun.
Yeah.
This one we picked off when we were in the Undermine. It's a fireball stick. Kind of like that necklace I had. I feel a bit weird holding on to something like that. But if you can use it, you're more than welcome to it.
Well, yeah, I'll at least give it a shot. Oh, speaking of gifts and stuff, I rummage through some of my stuff, and I find your teddy bear. I didn't mean to hold on to it extra long, but it's back to you now. I kept it safe.
I take it. Thank you.
I even gave it a bath. I hope that was okay. It's just kind of been through a lot, and I thought maybe like a little bit of extra stuffing, and it got like a Build-A-Bear treatment. There's like a little heart cell inside it now.
Yeah, it used to be burned and everything, so I think Garlo is like, Garlo just hugs you.
Thanks for the stick.
Please, it's I mean, yeah, it's not like I have to worry about being blown up again. So tries
there's
to
so many
laugh at it,
possibilities.
just like, oh.
I'll warn you if I decide to shoot in your general direction then.
I've had worse.
So I take it you're not attuning to this?
I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
So,
send it back to the chat.
Okay. So make sure that goes back into general treasure so it can be exchanged. You guys are good to go there. All right. So, thanks, Shared Tabletop, for making this so easy to exchange treasure items on character sheets. Much appreciated. Okay. So you guys go to sleep. Again, rested, long rest. You guys wake up the next morning to a knock at the door. You see 30 very tired Queen's Guard outside, and of course, a series of servants with trays on wheels with your breakfast, apparently. We understand everyone's still in here? All night planning session, I'm assuming? Strategy?
So much
Exactly.
strategy.
Is that a tent?
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Okay.
Don't come in.
Absolutely not. Here's the first tray, the second tray, the third. There's literally a tray for each of you. And on each tray is more than enough food to satisfy Garlo.
We'll see.
At least once on each tray. So there are deer, quail, eggs, omelets, cheeses, wines, waters, just as importantly, water. There are fresh fruits, cubed, diced, skinned, whatever you need it to be. There's an option there. And some juices too. So you guys have a lovely option for breakfast. You eat sumptuously. And then at that point, a few minutes later, after you're finished eating, there's another knock. Your Highness, one, I'm here to retrieve the trays, and two, the Queen has requested your attendants to come get your equipment. To ready yourselves. They've already set up your food supplies and everything.
Thank you. It is appreciated.
Yes. And then they close the door. What are you guys doing?
Full combat gear, I guess,
Yeah,
for the
gear
first
up.
time in a while.
So you guys go full battle rattle. All right, cool. You guys get all your gear and equipment on. You know, there's a montage in here somewhere of like, from Commando. Straps are tightening. Everybody's in there. At some point, somebody drops them. Oh, shit! He picks it back up, puts it back in the sheath. Everything's happening. And, Luciano's like checking his flute.
Oh,
for the kazoo.
no, he's fully
sheathing and
writing a new
unsheathing them.
persona.
Changing
She
his-
told me to have a new name, so I'm making up a new identity as like the day goes on.
Okay.
Good choice.
Okay. You're gonna need to express that probably at least soon.
While we're gearing up, I say in my head to Tiralai, we're going to a place where there's going to be a lot of illusion, a lot of things where not everything is as it seems.
Have you seen all of the gems here?
I can't steal any for you, I did quote. But
Right.
Tiralai, what's important is you're going to have to keep an eye out for me. You're going to have to, if somebody's wearing an illusion, you're going to have to warn me about it, because I won't be able to see it for myself.
Yes, that's my job.
Right, thank you.
Yes, it's a shame I wasn't close enough to spot that terrible creature earlier.
It was very sudden. I don't blame you for that. But if somebody tries to trick us, you understand. If somebody's wearing an illusion or if they're using magic that we can't see, please tell me.
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'd like more gems to be placed on my person.
I'll do my best. We'll see what we find in the Feywild. I'm sure there'll be something.
That sounds exquisite. I love emeralds.
I'll
Hear it's
bear it in
very
mind.
green and lush there. At least that's the rumors.
I'll keep an eye out, I promise.
Yes, for justice. All right. And at that point, you guys are all suited up. New personalities potentially developed, because basically Luciano pulls out the in-game equivalent of a D&D character sheet.
Oh yeah, that's one of his features. He can fully make social security cards and documents, and yeah,
You're
he
a
does...
forger?
Yeah.
You have forgery skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case,
False
you have to make-
identity. I've created a second identity, including documentation, established acquaintances, disguises. I can forge documents, including official papers and personal letters.
In
As
short,
long as I've
Captain
seen
Drake
them
is real.
kind.
make
Yeah.
a
Oh yeah.
All of my identities are real.
make a
Rock solid.
forgery check right now.
What is it?
Ooh,
what do
and
you
you
want me
got
to
the smarty hat too.
I do.
You're rolling a d20 plus your proficiency, Mike, and whatever the attribute would be involved. I
Got it.
don't know. Intelligence? Question mark.
Yeah, intelligence.
Woo, smarty hat.
Yikes, not very smarty. That's a 15.
The shark hat is carrying him.
Yeah,
Is that
the
with your
shark hat.
Is your proficiency bonus 4?
4
Yeah, but then what's your intelligence bonus?
plus 4. I just rolled intelligence.
No, but then
Yeah, but-
you would plus 8 then.
7
4,
plus
plus
4
4.
plus 4.
What he
So it's
rolled
gonna be 7 plus
plus the
8.
4 that was already in there plus 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's gonna be
you
7
rolled
plus
your
8.
roll plus proficiency. What's your intelligence modifier right now?
That
it'd be a
4.
15.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. So it's
Oh.
it's already in.
So you rolled an
Yeah.
11.
I rolled an 11 plus 4 proficiency. 15.
15.
15.
Okay.
15.
So you have some slightly above average documents. Okay. That
Yeah.
tells me where
I
you're
spent
at.
a night
Mhm.
doing it. I will say that.
Oh, so you have
Yeah.
a point of exhaustion.
Okay, sure.
I mean, you
Uh,
just said you spent the
okay.
night doing it.
Okay.
Sure.
Give yourself a point of
Do
exhaustion.
you wanna ask for some homework too, Anna, while you're at it,
Let's
or
just
if we have a
say-
pop quiz?
Yeah.
I already finished school. Yeah, no more homework.
No, I don't think you understand what he's joking about there. He's like basically, yeah. Do Do you want to tell the DM to give us a TPK while you're at it? That's the equivalent of what Gerlo was just asking? Okay, so you guys, except for Luciano's point of exhaustion, but successful forging of some basic documents. You guys suited up. You step out. There is the King's Guard there. Yes.
Oh, I'm just saying, gets of luck all
I mean,
around.
the Queen's
So
Guard.
The Queen's Guard. Sorry, the Queen's Guard is standing there, and they walk with you, and they look a little tired. They didn't sleep. And they walk with you, whereupon they are relieved upon getting to the main chamber with you guys, along with the person who escorted you there, which happens to be the record keeper. So Heart and Nail says, yes, Sealor wants to make sure you all made it in time, and everyone is selected and put together everything you need. And you see, once you enter the Great Hall, it's been cleared except for 2 large tables packed with gear. You see the 2 Rangers and the Queen's Guard. What was it, 10 Queen's Guard?
And 2 Rangers.
Yeah. The 10 Queen's Guard, who are armored in elven chainmail and elven plate and a few other things. They're ready to fight, right? They're carrying, elven bows, all the stuff you need, the Queen's own livery. The 2 Rangers are lighter. They're carrying, they've got cloaks of elven kind, elven leather armor, elven boots of elven kind, so on and so on.
must be nice.
At that point, a number of things occurred. First, there are 2 pendants. They are matched. One is handed to Rafe, and one is handed to Sem. Only those of elven blood can activate the portal. These are for you to activate the portal to get out. So only one of the 2 of you can do it. We've made a pendant for both of you. You get within 50 feet of it, you press the pendant, you will the gate open, it will open. Once on the other side, you will the gate closed. It is very important that you will the gate back closed.
Will it closed? And 50 feet?
50 feet.
Okay.
What happens if they don't will the gate back closed?
Other things can come back through.
Ah.
All right, on the table, there's enough rations for all of you for at least a couple weeks, and they're dry packed so that they don't take up much weight. After that, you're on your own. Unfortunately, if I give you more than that, we'd have an expedition, and that would require a lot more than we have to give you. We also have a few other things for each of you. We have a number of cloaks. We've got some boots to help you with hiding yourselves. We've got some braces for you, Sim. And Rafe, she appears to have taken a liking to you.
I'm going to allow that is true.
It's not subtle. So, I suppose, since what I can see appears to be true, and I do mean true, I'm going to give you this ring. It's a ring of protection +2. Use it wisely. Garlo, strongest of all. My friend, I am going to give you a gem in a diadem. You wear it on your head. You can pick one spell, level 1, that you'll be able to cast once per day using that diadem. as a
Lucy's
gift.
learning about spells right now. You come in levels? I just gotta use them.
Yes, of the first order. Level 1 of the first order. First magnitude.
Skip that class.
Yes, of course you did. You didn't even go to Bard College. We checked. You barely made it past the interim cycle of getting your stuff set up so you could go to class, and the first thing you did was go to a frat house, proceed to drink, and attempt to steal things from a religious order.
Okay, why are you making me sound cooler than I already am? Like,
You're absolutely perfect
Blazing
for this
me,
mission.
holy shit.
You fulfill a much needed role. I'm certain of that. I'm certain Sim is the only one who knows what that role is, but you're here for it. And of course, a little bit of scoundrel is necessary. So, for you, my friend, well, we have these magical earmuffs that will let you not hear sound at all. Enjoy.
Me?
Yes, they're for you. You place them on, you can't hear anything.
No, I kind of just throw them in a bag. Wait, I don't need these.
Great. Turja, there's not much we can give you, but we have this one item. And it clips onto your crossbow. It will add a further +1 to your ability to hit. Your accuracy will be increased.
Can't complain about that. Thank you.
Basically, you have a scope now for your crossbow.
Super sharpshooter.
Yeah. All right. Does anyone need boots or cloaks of elven kind?
Are they're boots of elven kind?
Mm-hmm.
I will take a pair.
Why would we not? Absolutely.
Okay.
Do they require attunement?
I don't know.
Oh, never. I don't. I've
That's
got
an
my
option.
They
boots. I'm
don't.
good.
I looked it up.
But do you want a cloak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just load it up. Give us that swag bag,
Mhm.
The
baby.
swags.
And each of you get a potion of greater healing. Actually, 2 potions of greater healing. And 3 potions of healing. That's it. Like, that's what we have on hand right away. We want you to go light. We don't want you to go too heavy. Anything else you think you'll need?
It's gonna sound silly, and I know it's not gonna be the first thing that comes to mind. Do we have like buttons, or just some easy pocketable marbles are great?
We can get you bags of bones.
Not like we don't need like it's not to
You want them in glass?
glass. Yes, they're
Yes.
trade worthy.
Yes, we can get you colored marbles all you wish.
Perfect.
How
Everyone
many
should
do
take
you-
a bag.
All right, everyone gets a bag of
full
100.
bottles.
So you get a bag of 1,000 marbles each. It's basically the equivalent of having steel ball bearings, but instead of ball bearings, you have marbles. Made of glass, which means they're heat resistant. How nice. They still hurt
They're
like hell
also-
if you use them in a slingshot.
They're also crushable.
I mean, if something's big and heavy enough, yes.
Yeah, we got Garland. Just like an apple.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you're beefed up.
I think we're ready.
All right. Garlo, what spell did you pick from the arcane list? I'm sorry. Or
well-
from a different list if you picked it.
So I don't have the full list because I'm a barbarian, so I don't have access. But off the top of my head, I will definitely take silvery barbs.
What is silvery barbs?
Oh, my sweet, sweet.
Don't tell him.
TM.
Don't tell him.
I'll send it to you.
Well, if he
But
can't
we
tell
can
me, he
pick
can't
it.
use it.
Oh no, fine. I
Yeah,
use
but-
the reaction just
yeah.
like shield, except
Uh-huh.
I give someone disadvantage on the roll they made,
Mhm.
and then I take that luck and I give advantage to somebody else.
Okay. I've seen you do that in a different way before. Okay. In our private games. All right. Excellent. All right. You get that once per day.
go.
Once per day.
Oof, nice.
All right. Well, at this point, you're going to set out quietly. We've arranged a few diversions to keep most of the people not exactly watching. We're going to take you to the 700-year-old tree, the old twisted tree. It's a lot bigger than you probably remember it. But you should hurry.
Why?
Well, the sun is rising, and we don't want to make a big scene of it. After all, there were spies already amongst us, right?
Spider-Man
just because
meme.
she says that, I establish our psychic network because the first one's free. So I will go ahead and just roll
I
that
do a
dice.
perception check to see if I can spot any of the spies among us.
Well, right now, you guys are the only ones in the room besides the queen, the
You know what?
uncle,
Now that
the
you
captain
mention
of the
it,
guard, the 10
Georgia
guards.
threw me under the bus. I'm thinking spy.
Yeah,
What?
Georgia's the spy.
I threw you under the bus? What are you talking about?
For the
Exhaustion.
the point of exhaustion.
Oh, right.
DM's Pat. All right,
Uh-huh,
yeah.
uh-huh.
So anyway, you guys are all good. You got your gear and equipment. Hopefully it survives. You guys rig up. They first thing you do is they have you go through. It's kind of some quiet back doors that actually pull you through a root system, and then out underneath a rock outcropping, 3 kilometers from the big palace tree and the rest of the village. As you pop up, there are 2 other rangers already standing guard around it, but not on it. And then from there, you are led through some winding pathways and off trails through hills and not canyons, but dried out creek trenches, and through some other things to kind of mask your direction and your visuals. And eventually you come through a small area where there is a number of very old growth trees, most of them standing tall and proud, but one of which is at a very steep angle and gnarled around and twisted in on itself and back around again and out, and the roots themselves are thick and wiry. It's an evergreen tree. Someone has twisted this tree. That tree now stands as a guard, or as a gateway, back and forth between the 2 realms, the Fey realm and the material realm. Surrounding it, in slightly less ostentatious gear, are 10 of the Queen's Guard. They are a little less shiny because they stand out here for long periods of time, but they are probably some of the biggest elves you've ever seen. These are the shield wall against whatever comes through that door. All of them carry horns. You see all of them carry a number of other magical items that are used as signaling devices that literally send up every kind of warning that something has come through. Their goal is to stop what they can, and if they can't, survive long enough to at least get warning out. And every single one of them can send the warning. Things have come through that have been savage and terrible. And as you get close to the tree, you hear not a wolf's howl, not a cat howling, not a raccoon or a growling, not even a monster's howling like you've heard before, but a large, horrible, haunting howling in the distance that seems to go on for a solid 30 seconds straight. And then it's echoed by 2 more. You see the guard standing there, looking nervous immediately. Those are howlers. They have another gate somewhere.
Let's not meet them.
No.
Are they a problem?
Oh, they're relentless. We're not even sure why the Fae have commissioned them, but they are relentless. Once they're set to track someone, they will track them until they're dead.
Commission them. Did they create them?
No, but they bound them to the duty. It appears they're on their way here now. So we must be bold and we must be fast. Your uncle stands close to you, Sim, and says, "It feels like we haven't had enough time." Remember what I taught you about tracking. Remember everything.
Steel trap.
Yeah. Speaking of which, he pulls out a steel trap. I kind of meant to give this for a special occasion. It's very useful to stop people from chasing you down, or to catch people you're trying to chase down.
I'm gonna treasure this forever until I use it on someone to trap them.
Well, sure. We got more of them. This is your first one, so you showed you know how to use it. There you go. Yeah. Now, the rest of you understand that the world there is not the same. The plants, everything there. What you see isn't always what you see either. There's illusions, there's tricks, and just like your friend will tell you, is that you can't trust anyone. I will say one thing, though. Fae, as fickle as they are, hate each other far more than they hate mortals. And they have been known to intrigue mortals. The catch is getting them to entreat you in the first place. Rather than look at you as a toy or a plaything or something to be hunted. Far worse. Nope, there's the howls again.
We'd better go.
All right. All right, go ahead, activate it, get it ready. He steps back, and the howls have gotten suddenly a lot closer. What are you guys doing? Who's going to activate what? What are you going to do?
Gonna wave Rafe to open it up.
Do we need to leave that open so that way they come? I'm assuming they're after us rather than you guys. Do we need to leave the gate open so they can avoid you all?
No, we want you through. Close it. We'll take care of it. That way they can't track you.
Okay.
Once you're on another plane, it's impossible for them to track you. But that doesn't mean they won't try to go through if they can.
Okay, then be safe. Don't die.
We'll stop them. Go.
Better.
Hurry up.
Okay, let's go.
And Rafe activates it, and you see the 10 Queen's Guard go through, the 2 Rangers go through, and then you guys all step through. As you do so, and you glance back, you see 3 large 4-legged creatures. Huge maws with sharp teeth, giant underchins that bulbously pulse, large claws flex. One howls as you see it, and Rafe closes the gate. And you don't know what happens on the other side of that.
Well, at least we're safe.
You are greeted by the pleasantly warm temperatures, perfect humidity, and twilight light of the Feywild. In the distance, Where would normally be yellow fireflies, you see blue-green colored fireflies. The greens are a combination of brighter and more vibrant, and in some cases muted and more gray. The grass is tall. Cimarine looks around. Something is strangely familiar. Stars are in the same places. The moon is in the same places, if that is the moon. The tall grass that you step into reflects the same tall grass as when you left. As you stand there taking it all in, a light breeze goes by, trees are in the distance of the glade of where this tree is, gnarled the same way on this side, except on this side, it's a deciduous tree. Broad-leaved oak, if you will. The glade you're in with the tall grass has only one thing that seems to be out of place. There's a roughly 6-foot part where it's been trampled down. Almost the length of, like, if someone had bedded down there for the night.
Oh.
Sim, do you want to make a survival check for me real quick?
I sure do. Let's go.
Here it
Literally anything than a 1. That's it. That's all I need.
Here it comes. Here it is. Big
Here
money.
it is.
Big money.
Okay, all right. Could have been worse.
Look at that. Look at
13.
that split in the middle.
The grass and stuff has been pushed down for a little while. You estimate at least 5 to 7 days. The reason it's still pushed down and hasn't grown back up is the earth is extremely muddied but dried, keeping the grass bent down. So whatever was there, it got wet at some point and then came back out. You do remember, your brother was sending you out, a light rain had begun to fall. That memory comes back of the rains. In the distance, you hear, way far away, what sounds like a horn blowing of some sort, and drums. Kingsguard stare and look around. 2 rangers have already shifted to 2 different positions, to the left and to the right, to get a feel in their bearings. They're checking the stars, getting their navigational ideas of where they are, and making notes. All right, Princess. We're here. Where do we go? And with that, we find out next week on Whiskey, Magic, and Distraction which way the princess is going to point them out to go. See you guys next week, everybody.